If you're in a position, and I'm talking to anybody listening, you viewer, if you're in a position to actually do it, it's less of a risk than you think. Like if if you've taken risks before, make a list of all the risks you've ever made. Now, put this on the bottom of that list or the top of that list, wherever, and just give yourself the assurity that this course is 100% worth what you put into it and more. I think this course should be mandatory for all high school students. That's my honest opinion. It should be mandatory. I'm actually pissed that it wasn't. Like, very often I will think and recall on everything I learned from this course, and just this isn't hard to master, but not hard to inform you. It's like the discovery aspect of it is awesome. And then once you implement things just even slightly, you immediately notice an improvement in your personal life, in your just mindset, in your business, in your hobbies. Uh, this should be a mandatory course in high school. That's my honest opinion. I've said this to somebody when talking about this course. It was floating around 20. It was like some months it was 18, some months it was 21. And then honestly, the very first change that I made a massive difference. Now that I'm at the end of the course, I see that my business has in fact doubled. So it's really cool to see the overall monthly income increase to, I think my biggest month was 40, a little bit less than 40K a month. The growth is just, it's a nice steady line. So my brand is Curio Crow. We sell herbal remedies and tinctures and homemade things. And we were branching out into other products, but because of the course, you said no, stop making new products. Just focus on one that sells really well if you have one, and just kind of go with it. So that's what I did. So our brand, our important values to us is honesty, simple things that don't need to be overcomplicated, and karate.
I did not see that third one coming. Yeah.
Yeah, no, nobody does. So the point of that is when you're in our community, our Facebook group, you realize, oh, it's a company, but these are just people. Like I screw around with my customers all the time. And that's kind of just exactly how I've done things, where you just screw around, crack jokes, and let people know that you're human. And it serves us well. The people there are very committed, and they're very, I would say, rabid. They're all about defending us if needs be, because people come into the group and they can tend to be a little unruly, and people they like our brand. They like the fact that it isn't so serious. The biggest struggle was in our situation, we were kind of relying on the success of another brand in order to grow. And I didn't like even relying on them in the first place, but it was necessary for us to kind of get started. But once we decided to kind of like detach from that, it was a standstill. Things were essentially stuck. So imagine you're in the ocean, in the middle of the ocean. You don't know which direction to start swimming. So you just start swimming. That's how I felt. I was like, I don't know. Let's just try it. I didn't know how to grow it. I didn't know how to do anything. I'm not particularly good at social media, like posting and making organic content. Well, I'm good at making it and posting it. I'm
Yeah.
not good at getting the reach that I want. So, and every other, not course, but every other opportunity I've taken to learn Facebook ads has always been abysmal, where they don't really know what they're doing. Especially knowing what I know now, they really did not know what they were doing. The change with this course is that every day I work on it and I keep my head down and just keep working, I'm more optimistic than I was the day before. And I don't think it's a matter of like, oh, it's a lot of positive, like there, I mean, obviously it is positive thinking, but it's the extreme accountability that's like, oh no, the problems are on you. It's like, oh, great, cool. Now I know where to start.
Yeah.
And problem solving is a lot easier. But I can go through day to day working on things like my business or my other business, and know that it's going somewhere that I want it to go. And if it detours for a minute and doesn't quite do what I expect, it's like, okay, well, the problem's me, so I get to solve this problem and it'll get right back to where it was. It's like, oh, great. Now I don't feel like I'm swimming in an ocean. I feel like
Yeah.
there's a current. Sometimes you go one way or another, but things are still moving forward. I would say the part that I found most intriguing, that really opened my eyes, was how to craft a specific offer. Like the reason people buy. Like that section of the course completely blew my mind. There's no bullshit. There's no bullshit. There's just no people going, follow your dreams. I hate that fluffy stuff. It's like you turned optimism and positive thinking into a math equation. And it's like, oh, I can jive with this. I really like this a lot. Like I'm really appreciative of it, first of all. But uh just the fact that, like, you guys can be harsh. And that's reassuring. I love it. And you can tell sometimes it's like, okay, well, first of all, the answer's in the videos. Like, okay, so be careful with my questions. Got it. Think about my questions.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, things. It's like before a problem happens, I know there's a solution. So when it's like I'm kind of pre-armed for when a problem arises, and then I get to have a formula, that of which I must follow to solve the problem, and it more or less stays the same. So I'm less afraid of problems. I'm less afraid of failing. And what's really cool is it's affected my music, or my other business. I'm not trying to do a self promo here. My other business, like my choices are more thorough and very succinct, and I'm more adventurous, which is great, and I'm enjoying everything a lot more, which is just rad. And I'm a little bit more nice to my family, which is great. It was mostly exhausting because I had to mask. If I was stressed, I couldn't pass that stress on to my wife, so I was just fatigued all the time. And usually around 8:30 p.m. is when I kind of started to not have enough energy to keep that mask on. So I'd get really impatient, and I would be a little short with people. And I'm just like, this is just, I would call it doom Bronson, where I'm just like, I think I need to go to bed. Just gonna sleep this off. But now 9 o'clock rolls along, and it's like, yeah, it's time for bed. But I'm not a grump, so that's great. I don't have to put in so much energy towards hiding stress and making decisions. Like I don't linger on a choice. I don't linger on, like, oh man, what am I gonna do? Therefore, less stress, less energy is being expelled towards hiding something, which is, gonna come out eventually. Knowing that it's just a process, it's just a problem. Everything has a solution, everything's moving forward. Like people stress about money, but if they knew money was coming in, they wouldn't stress about it. It's like that, except the currency is solutions and the expenditures are problems. So it's like, if the problem have at least a set path to solve it before it even arises, it's like not even a thing. You're not even worried about an expense. Get the course, stop whining, get it done. College is more expensive, and people are more socially acceptable, or it's more socially acceptable to go to college, and that's way more expensive with a less promise of a return. And this is a big promise, and relatively speaking, it's not even that much of an investment. It's expensive not to do it. Opportunity costs, Improving and growing is never going to be comfortable. And if you're uncomfortable moving forward with this, that means it's an opportunity to grow. And if you pass up on it, you're not going to grow. That's all there is to it.